States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, I want to welcome everybody to our July board meeting. Clerk, roll call.
Trustee Prosser. Here. Ball. Here. Sewell. Here. Crowell.
Here.
Supervisor Cox.
Here. Okay, first item on the agenda is public comments. Feel free to step to the podium and please keep your comments less than 5 minutes. Anybody? Going once, twice, so, all right. Consent agenda. This is items A through G, clerk.
A lot of items. So we have 3 sets of minutes from last month, the budget hearing minutes, the regular meeting minutes, and then the closed session minutes. And then we have the regular reports from the assessor, highway commissioner, myself, and Derek.
Motion to approve consent agenda A through G has proposed.
I'll second that.
All right, roll call.
Trustee Prosser.
Yes.
Ball.
Yes.
Sewell.
Yes.
Crowell.
Yes.
Supervisor Cox.
Yes. Next on the agenda is our approval of bills, and just want to mention, Craig got all the bills up on the website once again. We have just a separate spot that anybody can go up there and see all the bills. And again, if anybody wants to see the actual receipt, most of our, just so everybody knows, most of our bills, I would say, I should actually do the math on this, but I bet you it's probably close to 90% is payroll, is insurance, IMRF, things like that. So just so you know, we I guess we could technically share that, but I usually keep that off of there.
Okay, first of all, on general assistance, we had expenditures for the month of $1,293.70.
I motion that we pay that bill and accept that.
I'll second.
Okay. Roll call?
Trustee Ball.
Aye.
Sewell.
Yes.
Crowell.
Yes.
Prosser.
Yes.
Supervisor Cox.
Yes.
Road and Bridge had expenditures for the month of $140,374.69.
Motion to approve.
I second that.
Okay, if no questions, roll call.
Trustee Sewell.
Yes.
Crowell.
Yes.
Prosser.
Yes.
Ball.
Yes.
Supervisor Cox.
Yes.
There were no expenditures in the Road and Bridge Equipment Fund. In the Town Fund, the expenditures for the month were $102,708.74.
I motion that we approve those bills.
Second it.
Okay. No questions? Roll call.
Trustee Crowell.
Yes.
Prosser.
Yes.
Ball.
Yes.
Sewell.
Yep.
Supervisor Cox.
Yes.
And finally, the Senior Center had expenditures for the month of $10,929.22.
And just want to mention, this would probably be a good time to mention that we did just receive our grant for the food. The check came in this week, so that's nice. Okay, any questions? Sorry.
What was that for?
10,929.
And some months are a little higher because we do a lot of, we purchase food. It's weird how Senda does it. Nobody does it as good as Senda as far as keeping our food costs low and things, but that's not all food costs. That's also bills and things like that.
I make a motion to approve. I'll second it.
Okay, if no questions, roll call.
Trustee Prosser.
Yes.
Ball.
Yes.
Sewell.
Yeah.
Crowell.
Yes.
Supervisor Cox.
Yes.
Thank you, everybody.
All right. Next up is reports by officers. Start with our highway commissioner, Kathy.
I don't really have a whole lot to report beside what I had submitted already, but I did forget to put on the report that Chris Brothers paved Emery subdivision, so that area is done. It looks really nice. We have another bid from a tentative bid as to what it would approximately cost for Pat Drive area, but I don't think we're gonna get to that this year. Besides that, we're looking into purchasing a new sweeper. We didn't wanna have to do that, but, in order to repair our sweeper, it was, everything that we need was gonna be, more than what the sweeper's even worth. So, it's time that we have to purchase one of those, so we're looking into that right now. We got our new tractor in. We're just very busy this time of year. So, we're out doing all the things we need to do, plus we started the project on, South Shore Drive and Lakeview Acres. Once we get that one done, we will have completed that area as far as paving, and redoing the streets there. We still have a few to finish up in Dieterding Hills, and I hope to do that next year.
Are we still doing the bowls for the state, mowing them?
Yes, yeah, we still do that too.
Gotcha.
Yep, so,
It looks good, you're out there by 5570,
Yeah.
159.
thank you, yep, they do a good job.
Is that like an annual contract, or how does that work? Is
It's a
it
10-year contract. we
10
have
years?
with
How
them.
many more years are on that?
Oh, gosh, I'd have to look, I don't.
Are we about
remember
halfway,
when
you
we last
think, or-
pro- Maybe, yeah,
Gotcha.
a little over that, but, yeah, we renew it every 10 years.
Wow, okay.
Good job.
But we do more than that for them, there's other areas that we meet.
Oh, so it's all part of the 10-year contract?
Uh-huh, yeah.
Right. I was just curious, because the people ask and
Yeah,
stuff, so,
yep.
okay. All right, thanks.
Best looking bulb in the area.
Okay, Pete submitted his. Trustees, any comments? Okay. And I'll go to the senior center. Cinda is on a well-deserved vacation for the next 2 weeks. I want to thank our clerk, Jim Achenbach, and his friend John. You guys are going to be filling in, what, 2 days?
This Friday and next Friday?
Next Friday, right. My mom and I, we were doing the breakfasts we did this morning. We had 75 people. I do want to mention, we got a few new things starting in August that are really exciting. We're going to start with our, people have heard of Queen of Hearts, but it's going to be a door prize. Our slowest day here at the center is on Mondays. And so just to get the attendance up for lunch and things like that, it will be basically, and I've cleared this with our attorney, it'll be, I think we can go up to almost $11 a day on every Monday, okay? And so we'll draw at 12 o'clock, and you know, if we draw, Mike, your name, you pick one of the 52 envelopes. If you get it, you get the money. If not, the money rolls back over to the next week. So it can go up to right to like $600. If we stay below the $600, there's no taxes and all that good
What
stuff.
if nobody ever wins?
Oh, somebody's gonna win after 52 weeks.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
gotta go down to the last card.
You're right.
Oh, right.
And
So you're saying it's $11 per person up to, is what you're saying? on
It's
that?
$11, no, it's free to get in. It's absolutely free. You don't even have to eat lunch or anything like that. And what we're going to do is it's $11 each week that
The prize pool.
the prize
Okay.
pool, the lunch
Okay.
fund kicks in. All right, and so, anyway, we'll have that, and then afterwards, we're gonna start a new card game that I think all the seniors will enjoy. So we're just trying to get, because Tuesdays and Fridays, it's rocking in here. I mean, sometimes it's well over 100 people. And Wednesdays and Thursdays are pretty good. Mondays are just, for some reason, just down. So just trying to get the people in, and I think it might get some new faces in too, you know, so. Excited about that. We're gonna start CSC TV that I talked about in my opening when we were sworn in. So we're gonna be starting that. So some new things all starting here at CSC, and I wanna thank, we got some great volunteers in here that it's just, I'm just so proud of it. Everything's going really, really well in here. So stop in anytime, you know, and lunch is at 11 o'clock and then breakfast on Wednesdays. So that's all I have, clerk.
Nothing for me.
Okay, old business. So this is what I submitted some ideas and asked for any ideas from last meeting. Didn't get many. We talked about some proposed changes, and we sent out some minor changes about basically the meeting agenda. Just so you know, I attended the Collinsville City meeting last night, and they do it, and I didn't know that they did it, but they do it as I'm proposing as well. They get call it the most important stuff out of the way first, and then their consent agenda items last, because you can roll through those, you know, and so for the folks, I think that's the better way to go, and that's the only reason that I had proposed it earlier. Anytime, if anybody, say if we have somebody in the audience or somebody, a speaker, and you want to change and move them up, just make a motion, you know, and then we can, if the board agrees, we can move that, we can change the agenda. This is just to have some kind of structure, yeah? And our old bylaws had that we were meeting on Tuesdays. What other changes? Briefly, Bill, you're the one that put these together. Briefly, what are some of the other changes?
Yeah, for the most part, yeah, we changed to Wednesdays because it's no longer Tuesdays. There was the statute regarding when you can electronically attend has been updated to include if you have unexpected childcare.
So that's something new, huh?
Yeah, so I added that in there. But then by and large, it was cutting out just some superfluous stuff in what we had in the old bylaws that we don't do anything, you know, like prayer, just some extra language like around the pledge and things like that. And then it was mainly just reordering it the way that Derek had suggested.
And I did add in there, after public comment, that the trustees to that subject, if somebody has a question or whatever, instead of having to wait until the end of the meeting, that after their public comment, it's not really meant for a back and forth, but after their public comment, then, you know, if you would like to say something regarding what they said.
Perfect.
I always thought, and I think every unit of government should do that, it just looks strange, and people don't understand it.
Well,
You know.
it keeps your, you know, if you're writing notes,
Right.
you know, then that way you can kind of keep an eye on what you're wanting to say to help them, or
Right.
whatever, to direct their, you know, attention to what they've asked.
Yes. I just always, I feel that it's unfair a lot of times that, you know, and online, it's just, social media is crazy, you know, things get out there that aren't true, but if somebody can say, and then because you're not responding, then people think that, well, that must be the truth, and it's like, that's just our law. So now we can actually, after that, we can try to answer their concerns.
Okay.
Yep.
And that's in each individual person as they come up, if you wanted.
I was thinking,
or do you wanna
I
wait
think the
till
way it
all
reads
the-
is after all the public
Okay.
comments.
It's a separate response period.
Okay,
after.
thank you.
Right, yeah, so does anybody have any other questions on that? Okay, if, I'll accept a motion then to approve.
Motion to approve those changes.
Okay,
A second.
perfect. Roll call.
Trustee Ball,
Yeah.
Sewell,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Prosser,
Yes.
Supervisor Cox.
Yes. All right, and I will say that we got them done a month earlier than we did 4 years ago, so congratulations. Yeah.
4 years ago. Of course,
We had a lot of
I
stuff
put
to
about
do those
80
first
hours.
4 years.
was,
We had a lot of stuff to
there
do
was a
those
lot of
first 4
changes the other day. Okay. New business, approval of the resolution authorizing property tax abatement for McDonough Horseshoe Service Center for the township taxes. That's item A, and then there's another resolution, item B, that's, I guess, basically the same thing, but for the road district. And Bill, if you could kind of briefly explain, and then I think a couple of trustees have a few questions.
Yeah, so we did this a few times in the last, what the last board did. But basically what it is Madison County, in partnership with a bunch of different local units of government, has established what they call these enterprise zones, where in order to encourage and incentivize development in underdeveloped or undeveloped areas, they agree to abate the taxes from the improvements in order to lure new development. And there's a 10-year schedule that it follows, where basically, I think for the first 5 years, 6 years, the way that the property is assessed now, it stays at that level, so the new improvements don't add anything to the property tax bill for the people developing it. And then it slowly steps up, and in year 10, they're paying 100% of the new assessed value. And the idea behind it is basically that it keeps some of the costs down for businesses that want to come in and make these investments. And I think that it's targeted in areas that aren't necessarily highly sought after. So there's not, you know, a lot of competition for people going into development there. So that you're not really losing much of anything by getting the same tax assessment that you're getting now. So that's basically what it is.
Did you have any questions, Margot, on that?
Yeah, well, I was just wondering on the one where it says, I saw that at 10% the value of the improvements on the 9th year, and then the 10th year, which the improvements are fully assessed, will no longer abate, the taxes on the improvements. So, is it, I mean, is there a clause?
Yeah, they
For fund
paid the
down to
full
end
amount
it?
the last year,
I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
and
yeah,
every year after.
So the 10th year, yeah, the county clerk is no longer abating, which is forgiving the increased taxes.
So therefore, there's no reason for a sundown, like a finish, like any kind of clause.
No,
No, that's, I mean,
That is the
that was
that-
my
that
big
is it,
concern
yeah.
too,
Okay.
Yeah.
because I
Yeah, the-
read both of those about 3 times, I never saw that last. I guess my
Yeah.
eyes were scanning and.
Yeah, the discount ends,
Yeah,
you
it
pay
looked
full
kind of,
rate.
it looked
Yeah,
final.
on the 10th year, then
Yeah.
from that point, as their taxes go up, as everybody else's,
Right.
they will be raised up also.
Right,
Yeah.
just like all the improvements will be added at that
Right.
point.
I think they did that at Walmart years ago, when we,
Mhm.
to get them in down there.
The new Contegra buildings were the last go around in our last term.
Yeah, so it's been done before.
And it seems like before that, and again, I was much younger and I didn't really follow things, but I know that I kind of wish that it would have been more of a popular thing, because like the Grizzly Stadium, I don't know exactly the ins and outs of that, but man, that would have been sweet,
Yeah,
you
it was
know?
gonna be over by the state police headquarters.
Right, you know, and that was all about taxes.
That was a tip, that's a little bit
Yeah.
different than the
So-
enterprise zone. Similar, but.
Yeah,
Yeah, but anyway, so that's it, and it's items A is for the township taxes, item B is for the road district, and I'll accept a motion.
Motion to approve 2025 R08 and 2025 R09.
Okay,
I'll second it.
all right. Roll call on both.
Trustee Sewell,
Yes.
Crowell,
yes,
Prosser,
Yes.
Supervisor Cox.
Yes.
Did I skip anybody?
Yes.
Ball.
Yes.
It didn't seem like you said enough words.
All right, item C on the agenda under new business is the adoption of our ethics ordinance. And Bill spent a lot of time on this. And I don't know, did we even have one before this?
No. So it looks like what was being done is we were more or less just following the state's ethics law, and saying, you know, that's what we follow. The thing is, when the state actually passed their newest version of their ethics law in, I think, 2003, they mandated that all units of government were supposed to, within 6 months, pass their own ethics ordinances that basically mirror that state law. You can make them more restrictive if you want to, but at the very least, they need to mirror the state law and things of what they address. The ethics ordinance, by and large, address things like gifts for public officials receiving. There's all sorts of different categories of gifts that are banned. They ban things like conducting political activity during compensated time. And there are a bunch of definitions related to that. Conflict of interests in terms of voting on things. I think that's generally what they cover. There are a lot of definitions and everything in this. What I did is basically, I took the state's version, I didn't add anything to it. That's more or less what most smaller units of government do, because they don't have the concerns, say, like Chicago would. You look at Chicago's ethics law, it's very comprehensive, because they do a lot more than township government does. So pretty much every municipality, smaller municipality, just mirrors the state's ethics ordinance, and that's what this is. And it's something that's required, and it looks like wasn't done 22 years ago, and we just discovered that here recently.
Get it updated.
Right.
So there's
Try to
nothing in
figure-
here that isn't straight lifted?
Correct.
The other thing.
There might have been a couple things reworded or something. but-
Like township stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, as far as,
The other thing to note, if you ever have a question, like if there's a conflict or anything, or if you have a concern, in here, you're supposed to call the attorney, right? Is that how that works? Or-
So that's another part of this. Jim had previously, I guess, was serving as the ethics officer.
Yeah, well, that was part of it. We had to appoint an ethics officer, so that is something we did.
Yeah.
4
It's
years
just,
ago.
we just didn't have an ordinance that we were appointing it.
Right.
And that's part of why until, I looked at this stuff very recently, with the election, that I was under the assumption that we had done it, 20 years ago, and it just wasn't around anywhere because we had an ethics officer. So yeah, you can appoint an ethics advisor, an ethics officer that any employees or officers of the township can go and discuss, hey, somebody's wanting to give me this, is this something that I need to declare and return, or is this a problem? And then beyond that, if there is an issue, they can investigate and, do reports and all sorts of things. If things get really bad and there are violations, actual bad violations, this act actually empowers prosecution for that. We have a little bit of familiarity with this because I don't know if people are aware, but Bruce is actually the ethics advisor for Madison County. Has been for the last 5 or 6 years or so. So there have been a handful of times, and it doesn't really come up all that often. I think there have been maybe 3 or 4 times in that where there's been some question of something coming up. My guess is that, we don't do as much as the county, so you don't have as many opportunities for
Right.
issues to arise, but.
I guess my question is, if somebody has right now an issue, what does it say in here? Who do they contact?
So that's something else. We need to appoint an ethics advisor. Of course, you can always contact me, that's fine. That's,
Could you be the ethics advisor?
in theory, the only thing would be,
Revert to Bruce.
no, it could
He
be.
could be.
Yeah, the issue would be is if there were a problem that then needed the attorney to step in
address.
and do something, that could be where it might get a little sticky.
So maybe we at a later meeting, maybe we appoint an ethics advisor, maybe making the clerk again.
Yeah, it seemed that Jim's got the
Right.
training.
Was that,
for it.
is that mandated? Do we have to have one, or just something that's optional for us? I
It-
kinda thought it was mandated, that's why we did it before.
Yeah, so the
That is
actual,
mandated.
the actual ethics advisor portion actually is not mandated by the statute, but all of the guidance around that says that if you lose really any sort of enforcement mechanism if you don't have anybody there to check on it. So it's strongly suggested you have
Okay.
one.
So let's just put it on the agenda
Yeah,
next month.
perfect.
Yeah.
Okay, sounds good. Anyway, I know it took him a while to get all this done. I trust it. Does anybody have any questions? And then maybe he can answer since he's the one that put this together.
But it is pretty much just what the state has.
So
Yes.
it's long, we can't really change it, so it's not something, we can always add to it in theory if we wanted to get stricter. But this isn't the type of thing really that we can go through and say, I don't like this, let's take that out.
Right.
So I know it's long and, by all means review it, but I mean, this is the minimum of what we've gotta do, so.
Okay.
There's not really,
It's a good guideline. Yeah.
I trust it.
So I accept a motion if you like it.
I motion
Like it.
that we accept it.
Okay. Second. All right, roll call.
Trustee Sewell?
Yeah.
Crowell?
Yes.
Crosser?
Yes.
Ball?
Yeah.
Supervisor Cox?
Yes. All right, last item on the agenda is my comments. Just have a few here. I met with the city and really the entire staff. It was a great meeting. We looked at a lot of things about the community garden that we were talking about. Over here, they had even like a sun survey. They found, how much sun was on there. I told them about, you knew where the water was, so they're very excited. They really want it to happen. Of course, it's not the very best location in town, but we need to do something. I was talking to Mike, and I think they agreed too. Maybe keep some parking in the back. so people can still park, you know, to get in, but, there is a grant, and like we mentioned last meeting, we missed this year's, but if we could get something ready by, you know, next spring, that would be great. I would love for you guys to head this up, and for anybody that sees this, or anybody that hears this, you guys are gonna be looking for some community members that would like to be involved. If you like gardening, or just wanna have your input, something to do, you know, hold a couple of meetings. The reason that we do a committee is you can't have more than 2 members, or then has to be an official meeting. And so what I'm asking you guys to do is help get this going. If one of you can't make it or whatever, I can step in and be there or whatnot. I'm trying to think, what's the goal? Maybe by next meeting, have maybe 5, 6 people that we think that would wanna be involved.
And then we also gotta look at, we have to get the asphalt out of there too.
Yes.
So is that something that township is going, where are we getting with that?
Well, that's.
Not to get Kathy doing any more, she's already busy, but.
No, I wouldn't,
So-
I'm not
So
involved
nope,
in
I'm
any.
done.
Wouldn't an option be just do raised bed garden?
Yes.
We could do that too.
There's
Yeah.
a
It's
lot
just gonna
of,
be, the asphalt is still gonna be a lot of heat, you know, coming
Yeah.
off of those.
Making a lot of water, more water.
here was my thought, is maybe it's partial. Maybe it's partial, you move partial, but not all of it.
Right.
I guess my whole thing is, there's certain things that I feel like I'm good at, certain things, gardening is not my thing, and I don't know.
Yeah.
And so that's why it would be great if we could get some community members that have a vision for what would make it look nice. Maybe it's not a full, huge, like, it's not producing a lot of stuff, but it looks really nice, you know, however you guys wanna come up with it. And keep in mind too that, and that's actually no, it's not on my thing, but, today I just signed our grant. This year, we're getting $41,000 towards our loan for the parking lot. And so that's gonna be paid off sooner rather than later. We thought it was gonna take maybe 4 or 5 years. It might be just 2 more years, 1 more year, and we're gonna have grant money coming in that could be up to $40,000 every single year.
And we could use that for,
Only use it, and here's the
Okay.
thing, we cannot use it on, the town building or anything like that. It has to be used at the senior center or a garden, or like a park.
Recreation kind of
Recreation.
related.
Okay.
Right.
It's the parks. It's the-
Park or a rec,
Mhm.
right, and so that would fall under that. So even if maybe this grant, the committee says, well, this isn't, maybe we're not gonna get the grant, the full grant, maybe it's something that we say, hey, we're gonna be getting this money, you know, can we front 10 grand of it or whatever, just to get the ball rolling or something, you know, so. I did make the budget pretty tight this year, but things move pretty quick, and by next April, we'll be moving into the next budget season, you know.
so yeah, we can look into volunteers, also good fan out. We can just start getting prices
Yes.
of anything, like
Yes.
what it's gonna cost for the water line. to
Yeah.
Get them set up.
What would
and
it
then-
cost to remove asphalt?
Yeah, what would it cost to remove asphalt? There's a couple of companies that I have their own business that they may wanna volunteer or work something out.
That would be
you know.
really good, yeah.
But if not, like I said, like Clint said, maybe do the box
So,
time.
right.
Just maybe put some, I don't know, green turf down or something, just to get rid of the
Maybe
hot
it has,
asphalt or something.
maybe it has a small greenhouse on
Right.
it, you know?
Okay.
That's for you guys to figure out, and then, I'll be involved, I just might not, I don't know how it
Well,
works.
the committee would come back
Absolutely.
in a meeting and update us.
Absolutely.
And then we can talk about it then.
That's the point, right.
So what is the, I'm sorry, I missed what
Yeah.
you said about the, you had them do a study on when the sun. what-
Yeah, there's actually a website, I
But
wish
who
I
was
would've
the,
wrote it down.
who did that?
The city.
The city did
Yeah,
it?
they had a whole bunch of people in the room, and the big screen down, and they were showing,
Probably Parks and Rec or something.
yes. Yeah, it's crazy, it was actually a website, and I think they use it more for solar, when you're installing solar, and it shows how much sun that exact spot gets.
Oh, that's super.
And it
cool.
has a rating, you know, because there were some people that were a little concerned, like, oh, that building's gonna block it, but really it doesn't block it that much, you know?
There's a microclimate in there too,
Well, the
with
sun's over there.
the warmth from the other buildings and whatnot, it's kind of a little microclimate
I see,
thing.
right. But again, I just wanna get the ball rolling. So, because I'm still working on again, getting the ball rolling on the other one, you know, just trying to figure out ideas and stuff, so, you know, I could use y'all's help for sure, so.
It's fine.
Okay, well, if anybody wants to, you know, be involved, contact Mike or Margot, and we really do want it to be a community thing. I'd like to get a diverse group of people that are into this kind of thing, you know, maybe somebody from Unit 10, in their horticulture program or something, because I wouldn't mind having something with, when it's done, the students come up and have a little piece. You know, I'd like to have the seniors have a little piece, you know, and
Well, being close to here, you know,
Yeah.
the seniors can, if you need to use the restroom or get whatever, they're right here.
Mhm.
Instead of being somewhere else, like again, we can make it look nice.
I have a feeling that in the beginning, it's gonna start as a big, but I just know that the seniors are gonna love it. You know, and if it ever starts falling behind on somebody else not doing their little section, the seniors will probably end up taking it over, but that's how I feel anyway.
What's cool about the seniors is it'd be
Sponsorship
great for them to do it like an
Yeah.
education, they could do an education thing with the school too, cause the seniors love to teach.
That would be good, yeah,
I'm sure they have some great tricks
Oh, yeah.
in gardening.
yeah, so, anyway. Next is, banking, I'm almost there. I met with several different banks, I've been working on this, and we're gonna be going with Busey Bank, right over here in Collinsville. The biggest reason is I'm trying to make people, everybody happy, but it's almost impossible in politics. But they are able to, because I was trying to get the highest interest rates for our funds, okay? So the only way to do that, what we're doing now is have all of our accounts basically in one for road and bridge and one for town. It makes it an accounting nightmare for because a lot of our funds are restricted funds. You can only spend that money. And so I met with our accountant. She didn't want to do it. Don was in that meeting because some people come to me and say, no, it should be 2 accounts, all right? And that's how you can get the highest return. But even in our bylaws, it says that is not the most important thing. The most important thing is that our bookkeeping and things like that is correct. Now, we still want the highest return. So, full transparency, right now we're getting 3.47%. That is our top rate that we're getting. They're gonna give us that exact, they're gonna give us the 80% of the Fed rate. Whatever the Fed rate is, that's what they're gonna give us, and which is 3.47% on every single account. So now, what we can do is, I am gonna still eliminate a couple of accounts because there's certain accounts that we pay 1 check a year out of. These sweep accounts, we won't have to have the sweep accounts anymore. Those sweep accounts, it shows us 2 accounts. It sweeps in 1 account, sweeps out of one account, and the $20,000 that it holds, it's getting 0%. You know, so that's, I know it's only 20 grand, but it's something.
Still.
They're just gonna have a straight up account, no sweeping, none of that, and so, I'm excited about that. And so, I'm gonna try to get that going on August the 1st, to make it a smooth transition. There's things that I have for you, Jim, to sign and all that good stuff. I met with, had a meeting with the owner of our solar company that did that. He's promising me that we will have the check in hand before the end of the month, which is great. But also, I wanted to let everybody know, there's just certain things that I did not know. The state of Illinois is maybe one of the biggest on solar. Some people don't like it, you know, taxpayer, because a lot of money goes into that, but really it's a lot of money from Ameren and things that go into that. But like last year, they allocated $85 billion for solar, and they only spent $35 billion of it. Point is, if you're, almost everybody can get it for absolutely free. Meaning that they'll pay for it, they'll install it, they get reimbursed from the state. Even if you're a renter, I was so surprised by that. You can put it on your rental for the landlord. They have to sign an agreement that their rent doesn't go up for a year and things like that. But I was just very surprised by that. So it's a big thing for LIHEAP customers. They come in there that have, you know, are struggling with their power bills. So, you know, we have stuff there that they can take, and if they wanna call, you know, and get information and things. So I just wanted people to know that is an option to look into, because it seems too good to be true. I didn't believe it, but it's working here. We had our first few months that we had 0 power bills. Yeah, other than the fees. which
What never gets talked about.
Right,
I looked into solar and I just talked to another company the other day. There is a lien put on your deed,
okay,
and if you wanna sell your house and the buyer does not wanna pay that lien, you gotta pay it to get out from under that house.
Right.
so the lien, like, you meaning they have to keep
On
the
your
solar,
deed.
they have to keep the
The
solar for
money.
so many years or something, or?
Or pay it off.
When they put this thing in your house, the company that puts it on there,
Hmm.
or Ameren, I guess maybe, puts a lien on the deed for the property
Well, what's the
Until
lien
they get
for?
paid.
until they get paid.
Oh, I see, back from the state.
Mhm.
I see, I see what you're saying.
And if you decide you wanna sell, you have to pay that lien.
Right, well, if they don't get paid back,
And
I
if
see
the,
what you're saying.
and like I said, well,
No, they get paid back.
Right,
It's whether the new owner is willing to assume the loan, which has been
That's the
zero.
whole
In
thing.
my experience, it's been 0. And appraisers have given it no value.
I see.
So if you put solar on your house, plan on living in your house for a long time, or understand that when you move, you're gonna pay it off for whoever's coming to the house.
Yep.
All right, I'm gonna ask
It's
you
just
about
for
that.
here, we're not moving.
they're all.
No, right,
Yeah.
yeah.
And since
Yeah,
I-
no, we're good here, it's just when you're talking to people in general about it, you gotta be careful. Don't
Well, I
let them
want
think
to,
they get it for
I'm
nothing.
gonna get more information.
Especially if they're homeowners.
Yeah,
Okay,
and since I said something, I just would like to get with Mike and Margot afterward on garden stuff. I got some resources for you.
Oh, perfect, thank you.
Nice,
All right.
thanks.
and then lastly, we're gonna be doing our annual reviews, they'll be taking place in the next few weeks. So,
Annual what?
reviews for employees and things.
Oh.
Right. You want, I might, if you want.
I know what mine's gonna be.
So, anyway, if anybody have anything else?
I was just gonna say, I mean, I am so glad that these accounts are cleared, because I know, and that all this taken care of, because, you know, I know it was hard for everybody to understand, but I've seen that, like, this board evolve into great things. And those accounts, that was a big deal, and it's all gonna be cleared up, and I mean, obviously, years before, it was
Right.
done by the prior supervisor, and, you know, the other bank, and so, I mean, you saw that it was working, and, you know, there was already guidelines. How many years did they have those accounts like that?
Long
I got a
time.
question.
Right.
So,
How many individual accounts do we have?
I think there might be 20, but I think there's 20